Today, we're going to look at why does communication break down? So in this video, we're going to talk about exactly how communication breaks down and what the antidotes are. So stick with it and let's unpack this for you. If you're a person who's in a relationship with someone and there's been a breakdown in communication, you will be a person that is feeling a heightened emotion. Sometimes it's helplessness and hopelessness, and sometimes it's more of the defensive variety, anger, frustration, or blame towards that person. The breakdown of communication basically says, I don't understand what you're saying, and I don't feel like you understand what I'm saying. That's kind of what we're talking about. So when we're looking at communication breakdown, we're looking at two people who feel as though they are misunderstood. And perhaps there is also other versions of this happening where people are also feeling like the other person is wrong and they're right. And what is essentially happening here is neither person is taking influence for, or perhaps both people aren't taking influence for the contribution they have made. So if we're looking at a relationship, there is 100% of the relationship. So the other person is responsible for 50% and you are responsible for 50%. Those two 50% make up the shared experience that is our relationship. When there is a breakdown in communication, we must be responsible for our contribution, and we must be in a space of being able to take influence from the other person about where they are so that they can take influence from us. So the idea of taking influence is the ability to shift perspectives and to do some self-reflection and say, what is my contribution here? How have I contributed towards this? This is actually an advanced skill, because what tends to happen is we have this sense of, I'm hurt by this breakdown in communication, and that hurt I need to shift or shuffle. So what I will do is I will deny it, I will blame you, I will minimize the impact I had on you or the impact you had on me. I will justify it or I will defend it. And perhaps I'll use the Four Horsemen, which is the criticism, the contempt, the stonewalling, etc. And so what happens is when we're in those spaces, we are not what we call resourceful. The breakdown of communication has triggered us, we are upset, and we are not able to resolve it. So if you're in a place where any of those are present for you, that is not a place from which you can repair or resolve the relationship. That actually requires you to be in what I would call your wise woman or your good person or your good man part of you, which is a part of you that is down-regulated, a part of you that is not flooded with emotion or physiological feelings, you know, the rush of adrenaline, the surge of cortisol, the surge of rage, the surge of indignant righteousness. Those are not present, because when they are present, you cannot repair a relationship from that physiology. It doesn't work. So a communication breakdown happens because our physiology has disrupted our thinking and emotions, and then we have broken connection with somebody that we either love or care about or in negotiations with. And when that breakdown happens, we often compound our feelings by not processing them. So we assume that our feelings are correct and that therefore the other person is at fault. And actually what happens is we own 100% shared together, 50% is mine and 50% is yours. And most of the time there's a contribution that both of you have made that have led to where this has gotten to. Not all the time, most of the time. So we must manage our physiology, and we must also recognize our contributions and be able to take responsibility and ownership for those contributions. That's how we're going to find our way out of this. Now, lots of times people come to me and say, well, I can do those things, but my friend, partner, loved one, they cannot do those things. And I think that's a really important piece of the puzzle. There's kind of three main categories with a breakdown in communication that tends to happen. One is they accept responsibility and make a repair with you, and you make a repair with them, and the relationship is strengthened. The next version that happens is you both clumsily try to make a repair and the relationship sort of recovers and limps on. And then the third way that it happens is that the relationship can't recover, perhaps because of the repair, or perhaps because the damage is too great and the skills for both people aren't there, or perhaps a boundary has been violated so badly that repair is no longer an option and ending the relationship is the best outcome. However we frame these ideas, you have those three kind of buckets, and your choice is to work out which one of those buckets you would prefer to be in, and then work with the person to see where they are in those three different buckets. Now, if they are willing to repair and trying, that is a lovely opportunity for the two of you to build your skills and repair, and build your skills being able to rebuild after trust. If one of you is in and one of you is out, it can still happen. And if both of you are out, then the relationship will naturally come to an end. The most common one we have is, particularly in my line of work, is one person is willing to do the work and the other one is afraid or unwilling to do the work. And what we teach in my program is around how do you lead with influence and how do you repair when it's just one person. So the breakdown of communication can look as simple as, I'm sorry that I said that thing when we had the argument the other day. I've reflected and realized I contributed in a way that I wish that I have had better language for. I can see my part in this and I apologize wholeheartedly. That is a repair that leaves it open for the other person to attempt to repair with you as well. And maybe it's clumsy because they haven't done it very much before, or maybe they're learning how to repair. It is a skill that is not overtly taught, I think, in society and families very easily. And so you might find that this person that you've had the breakdown in communication with is clunky as they're building the skill set in ownership and influence and repair. And also that's a really normal thing. It's normal for humans to have to build skill sets. So if you're noticing that you feel uncomfortable, I just want to say hats off to you for watching this video. You're doing really good in terms of looking in these spaces, and it's really normal that building a new skill takes some time. You think about when a toddler is learning how to walk, they are up, they fall down, they are up, they fall down. So it is with any kind of new skill that we're building. We need to practice, we need to get it right, we need to get it wrong, we need to reflect, we need to learn, we need to try again. That is what it takes to learn a new skill. So if you're finding it clunky and it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or 2 or 3 steps back, I encourage you not to despair. It's going to take the time it takes for you to learn this. And once you've learned it, you'll always be editing or learning or tweaking and adding to your database of relationships with other people, because you never get it done and you never get it right. You'll always have things you can learn from. You'll always have areas you can improve on. And you'll always have different dance partners that you're trying to repair with. And some people be quite proficient in that space and other people won't. And you are going to do this dance right across your life. If you're a person who's been in communication breakdown, that is really normal. Your opportunity here is to learn how to do it differently so that you have the best possible outcomes with your choice of partner. Now, will that person be able to do it? We never know. And we also don't know when they'll be able to do it. So your job is to take that radical accountability for your contribution, build your skill set, and lead your life with your very best possible way of showing up for people, and call it good enough, because it matters that you're trying, it matters that you're learning, it matters that you're a reflective listener, and it matters that you're here doing the work. All right, friends, there we go. Comment below if you have anything else you want me to talk to you about. It's been a pleasure being here with you. I'll see you later.